well, Simon Stevens is the Director of Casework for Addictions UK, which is based here in the North East. He's on the line now. Simon, it's not a case of right or wrong, is it, in this?
Well, it isn't, and I think it's very brave of Ron Hogg and Michael Barton to come forward with this policy, though I rather doubt that the trial they're referring to gives the results that they describe. Given that, this is really a mental illness, it is a compulsive obsession on the part of the individuals to self-harm to the point of destruction. Now, if that's the given case, then ultimately all people using drugs in this way die prematurely. And what they're suggesting is a system whereby they, perhaps unintentionally, I'll accept that it's unintentional, but really they're legalizing the euthanasia of mentally ill people. And I don't think that's too strong to say. Harm minimization does not take into account the fact that people in this category will always die prematurely. And in fact, what we're really doing if we go along this route is we are massaging the dynamics of death and presenting it as a solution, which I think is really ethically not correct.
Wow, that's quite a strong statement there, Simon. You're saying they're legalising the euthanasia of people with mental health conditions. You don't think this is going to work?
I can see why it might appear on the surface to reduce crime. But I have to tell you, there is nothing new in this approach. Parents up and down the country have tried to control their children's drug use by getting involved in the buying of drugs and by saying, we will give you it at certain times. And if you go and ask those parents, without exception, they will tell you that this fails usually quite quickly. There is nothing new in this. Really, if you accept that these substances are attempts by people with mental illness to self-medicate with very bad consequences, then by giving them those substances, you really have to be complicit within their own destruction. You need to challenge the mental illness. This is about a mental illness and treatment in that way. It is not about the substance. It may be convenient, but it's not ethical.
If they don't go down this route, or if they need, they're saying, the situation we have at the moment where we arrest people, put them in prison, etc., it's not working. We need something different.
I totally accept that. I totally accept
so
that.
You would say instead of giving people heroin to try and wean them off it, your solution would be, well, we need to do something to sort out the mental health behind.
Absolutely. And the one thing that can be said about the current system, although, I totally agree that it's wrong, without the critical crisis in someone's life, that actually this method of self-medication becomes untenable, what is there to convince that person that they need to change? There is no need to change if you give free drugs. And the message that this is going to send out to the rest of the country, I'm afraid, might well be, come to County Durham, Ron Hogg, Chief Constable Michael Barton will give you free drugs without charge.
So you've got concerns about just the one force doing it. You'd rather every force subscribe to this. You have visions
I think we really do start going down the road of we are simply assisting people to die sooner.
Okay, very strong opinions there from Simon Stevens, the Director of Casework for Addictions UK. Send us a text if you have a response to that.